Priscilla is with us in Orlando. Hi, Priscilla. How are you?
Hi, Dave. It's an honor to speak to you. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can I help?
All right. So I'm a bit conflicted right now, and I kind of would like your wisdom on this. I've been dating a really strong Christian man for about 7 months, and engagement is kind of on the table. But my confliction is his financial status, and I don't know if I'm being a little too critical about the situation, or should I concentrate more on his spiritual walk, and then I don't know.
Okay.
So basically, I make double what he makes, and I'm almost out of debt. I'm about to pay my car off, and I just have my student loan left.
What do you make?
And,
what do you make?
I make take home monthly is a little over $4,000, and he is at
Okay, so you're making like $65,000 a year, and he's making like 30.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you do?
Radiation therapist.
And what does he do?
He's a biller.
A biller. He works in an accounting department?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
He just bills jobs for a company.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And how old is he?
He's 36.
And how old are you?
And I'm 32.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So your question is what then?
I don't know if I'm concentrating. I feel like it's really his financial status. I'm concentrating too much on it, and I'm really hardcore in what you believe and what you do, and I've been through FU, and so I've been trying to talk to him and like maybe get better jobs, but he's very content and very comfortable, and I don't know if this is a huge red flag, and debt-wise, he's got $65,000 in the student loan and $12,000 in car, and okay. I will have about $12,000 left. And
so what you're telling me is I disagree with your analysis that you're worried about the financial status. I think you're worried about his lack of ambition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too is a red flag too. And
because if he was making this, but he was a go-getter and he was willing to grind and hustle, and he had like 17 plans to better himself, and he was going to be diligent, and he was going to be excellent, and he was going to go into the marketplace and provide for his family and scratch and claw, you wouldn't care if he was making 30.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's the fact that you think he's probably going to be making 30 10 years from now and 20 years from now, because he really just doesn't give a rip.
Yeah, and he's content, and I think it's his spiritual walk, and he's very strong.
No, I'm content. Contentment and ambition are not on the same spectrum.
Yeah.
In terms of spiritual contentment, okay? You can be spiritually a content person and yet still be striving for excellence and diligence. Mm-hmm. And still have an ambition and still have initiative and those kinds of things. And so I'm going to give you a little more credit, because you kind of set this up like you're a snob, and I don't think you're a snob. I think you're worried about not his money, but you're worried about his ambition and his initiative.
Yeah, our family, like if I were to get married to him. So I'm so paranoid when it comes to funds and financial status, and I worked so hard to where I've gotten, and I'm just so nervous.
Yeah. Well, I would not walk away from someone based on financial status or whatever. Yeah. But I would walk away from someone if you don't think they are going, if you don't think he's got enough ambition to pull himself up and go do something else over time.
Yeah.
And that bothers me as a dad of a 31-year-old daughter. If one of my son-in-laws fell in that category, I'd be worried about my daughter.
Yeah. My parents are. They are. So.
And it's not that they think he's a bad person or that he doesn't love Jesus. That's not the point. The point is that his faith has not caused him to move towards diligence and to move towards excellence in his life and to be all that God has created him to be. He's willing to just sit there and do that one thing. And that doesn't make him a bad guy. It just may make him not a fit for you. I can tell you he wouldn't fit in the Ramsey family if he's not going to better himself. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care what he makes. I just want to see that he's willing to do something and hustle. But, you know, take it easy. I don't want working extra hours. I'm going to, you know, oh, no, I wouldn't take overtime. Oh, you know, I'm sitting on $60,000 of student loan debt and a car debt. And he's just kind of coasting. That bothers me. That bothers me. So I'm with your mom and dad on that. I'm not trying to break you up. But what would I do if I were, how would I coach you if this was my daughter? I would, I would, engagements on the table, I would sit down with a young man and go, dude, this isn't going to work because my daughter's going to kill you. If you don't decide to have some career goals and decide to do something with your life, this is not going to be a fit for you guys. And so if your dad's not going to do that, you probably need to do it. And you just need to say, I really do care about you. I really do want to move forward, but I'm not going to be okay with you still you doing nothing to better your life. And I'm just not wired that way. And again, it doesn't make him a bad guy. It doesn't make you a financial snob. It just says you're different, and you know you're going to be nagging him for the next 22 years. Is how it's going to feel. If he doesn't, now he may say, hey, there's a side of me that in 7 months of dating, I've not really shown you, but here's some things I'm thinking about, and you're right. I do need to do that as an act of my faith. I need to act my faith out in the marketplace in a way that's, diligent, because the diligent prosper. That's in the Bible, and so it's not you're not a bad spiritual person if you serve with excellence and scratch and claw and go win in the marketplace, because that's biblical. Work is biblical. And so, doing the minimum amount of work and just hanging out is, no, that's not going to fit you. And you know how I know it's not going to fit you? Because you called me to ask me about it.
Yeah.
So it's bothering the crud out of you.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Don't go forward with this engagement until you guys solve this. Because if it's not solved, it's a deal breaker if you still have the same perception of him. Now, maybe you learn something about him, or he says, hey, behind every great man is a better woman, and I'm willing to do some stuff to keep you in my life, and that kind of thing. And I just you're the spark I needed under my butt to get me up and moving. That may be the reaction, and it could be a very positive reaction, and this could all go forward and be wonderful. But if he just says, no, I really don't want anybody bothering me about trying to better myself or move up in my career, or I don't want anybody bothering me about that. I'm just content where I am. And you got to go, I'm not going to be. And it's a deal breaker because it's so different than your value system. And that's why your mom and dad are worried about it. And I think it's a valid worry. You may want to sit down with a good marriage counselor and do a little pre-engagement counseling. Wouldn't hurt. A couple of $100 spent there might save you a lifetime of pain. This is The Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show.